okay, today's a Tuesday. And I was like, so, hi, Ollie. I was so distracted that I almost forgot to stream. I was just everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Sometimes it happens where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get all the things done. I'm gonna be productive. And then I kind of forget that I'm supposed to be doing like this. And it's okay. It won't be like this forever. We'll just be like this till the end of October on Tuesdays, so. Which is, on one hand, nice. On the other hand, I'm like, oh my god. Every time. Every time. Every time I always like mess it up just a little bit. And I think it's my mirror. But like eyes are low-key like a little offset, right? So it makes sense that it's like hard to do sometimes. But it's kind of frustrating. And today is the 7th. Oh, I have more candy again. Ah, man. I'm really tired today. I was up really late. Ayo. For the longest time, I was like, oh, caffeine doesn't affect me. It doesn't make me feel any type of way at all. I'm good. If I drink it like way too late in the day, I am up a lot later than I should be. And it's not like I'm sitting here like, oh, I want to stay up late or whatever. Aha. Lighting the candle again. Oh, shit. But yeah, I'll just kind of like stay up and think. And last night was like one of those days where I just kind of stayed up and I thought a lot. That's okay. Got rid of my comments somehow. Well, I forgot I did that, Lamau. How do I show it again? Wait. Oh, whoa. That's crazy. Okay. I've never done this before. So crazy to me. What the heck? Hey, George. Never done what? Well, I messed up my settings. So, like, whoa. Whoa, there's like, but then, why can I not see it? Yay! Okay, okay. Oh! Okay, I fixed it. I fixed it. I can see chat again. Then, I don't know how to fix this. Okay. Okay, slow mode. Yeah, I fixed it. I fixed it. I was just, I've never seen it do that before. And I was really curious about it, so I was like, oh my god, okay. What vibe? How are you? How was life? Hmm. I have yet another knife. This one is really dull. You can see that's like chipped. This is usually the one that I would take while I was gardening and stuff. It's a Swiss-made stainless steel knife. I have to sharpen it though. I'm just accumulating all of them. Oh, you cleaned the outside of your house. Nice. Congratulations. I hope that was fun. I forgot to go to the post office today. I'm gonna go tomorrow. Andrew had to switch out some stuff on his car, so I had to help. Oh, you had the green mold. It's all clean now. Yeah, moss and mold. Honestly, it can be kind of fun having to clean outside. I've had a really chill time. What the fuck? I keep dropping things today. I had a really chill time outside the other day. Yesterday it was raining a lot. Isn't it supposed to rain on the East Coast soon? Or am I going crazy? I might be going a little crazy, honestly. You got the notice that the bits are there now. Good, good. I could probably get it tonight, but honestly, it'll be best if I get it tomorrow, just for like time-wise, which can be annoying, but it'll be okay. Yeah, rain's supposed to start around 1 tonight. Lucky. Lucky, lucky. Yesterday was so hard for me to be productive because of all the rain, and then it stopped raining last night, which I think is why I didn't sleep well, because I sleep to rain sounds, just because I find it relaxing. But then anytime it rains outside, I'm like so exhausted. So I drink extra coffee, and then I have a hard time sleeping because I'm like so like it's not like I can't sleep, because I can. It has nothing to do with the coffee. It has everything to do with the rain stopping. So then I couldn't sleep because I didn't turn on my rain sounds. This is my life. This is the life. But that's okay. Did you listen to anything that was going on, like White House wise, Pam Bondi, Senate hearing, that sort of thing? So I was listening to that today and I was like, oh, you have a white noise machine and you set it on rain. Nice. I like the thunder stuff, you know? A little bit of thunder and like gutter sounds. It's so relaxing. Mm. Oh, I was so stressed out. I was like all day, I was like, oh my god, I have so much homework I have to do. And I just realized I had nothing to turn in until Saturday. Well, technically Friday, because midterms were last week. Oh, I was so stressed all day. That's also why I was up super late last night. I was studying because I thought I would have like a little test today. Oh my god. It's not until next week. She gave us a week off. And I didn't take it at all. Oh my god. That is just such a me thing to do. Let's do. I'm writing stuff down in my planner as we're chatting. Just a little bit, not a lot. Just because I kind of forgot to put my schedule on paper. Low key, listening to everything today made my brain hurt a little bit. The Bondi hearings, she wasn't answering like any questions and she was just deflecting the whole time and then trying to be like, oh, you rely on the president to do stuff. That'll make everything better. And that's been stressing me out a little bit. Because it's like, it feels like nothing actually, how do I say it? I feel like she's not really doing anything productive besides trying to help the president right now, which is just a thing that that's basically her job, you know? Well, technically it shouldn't be her job, but she's making that her job. And it was hard because anytime they were asking her questions about something that Patel was like, oh, you know, you have to ask Bondi about it. Like, she'll tell you. Ask Pam. She'll let you know. And then he literally would just deflect onto her. And this entire session, they were trying to do the follow-up questions with her. And she was like, well, ask Patel. It's his jurisdiction. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, oh, that's why we didn't get anything. You watched about the senators having their phones back in 2021 spied on. That's interesting. Where was that? Was that like a Senate hearing that I missed? What is that from? Centripetal force to make the marker work better. Oh. I think it'll be a little bit better now. I didn't hear about that one. But, you know, there's only so much news that I can pay attention to every day. Honestly, otherwise my brain starts fucking melting. Like today I had to take a break and then learn about the history of Sudan. Which is honestly, the conflict in Sudan is fucking wild, guys. We could talk about it a little bit today. I have a good video that we could watch. A little outdated, but holy shit, it's like a proxy war beyond like all proxy wars. And it goes back a lot further than I thought it did. Did I know about it? Because we have a high Sudanese population here in like eastern Nebraska, but yeah. No, it came out today from one of the senators they spied on. It was like 8 Republican senators from them. Oh, Pam Bondi mentioned that during her hearing today. Mm-hmm. Like internal spy stuff. Like the FBI, US government, like I wouldn't be surprised. Especially if they're doing such shit. You know how Sudan has been in a civil war for a while? Yeah. So they were in a civil war. They had quote unquote peace or whatever, or at least they had like a goal of peace. And then that collapsed, and then now they're back in like war stuff. I have a lot of Sudanese students, and some of them speak Arabic, some of them don't speak like Arabic super well. It's like a different dialect that I struggle with, but it's getting better with time. Um, but yeah, a lot of them, they try to explain it to me, and then it's because they're not super good with English. It's hard for them to break it down. So they just have been giving me some sources, at least a little bit, for me to dive deeper. And it's really fucking rough. They've been in a rough war for a while. And the people try. But it can be really unsafe. And that kind of stresses me out because I want them to be good. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, the spying thing doesn't really surprise me. I think that bouncing between topics a little bit, but Siri's here. All right. It was Lindsey Graham, Bill Haggerty, Josh Hawley, Dan Sullivan, Tommy Tuberville, Ron Johnson, Cynthia Loomis, Marsha Blackburn, and Mike Kelly from Pennsylvania. Okay. Yeah. It makes sense why they were watching. Oh, this is the majority press release by the U.S. Senate Committee on the Judiciary. Here's a link. Bada bing, bada boom. Low key, they probably, like, Turning Point was considered a suspect thing because there's the rhetoric that Charlie Kirk said was super, super racist, sexist, homophobic, and he was saying that people should be executed on live TV. Like, he was trying to have, like, a call to action for violence. So that's why he was being investigated. But yeah, they mentioned that in here too, at least Turning Point. And a lot of African countries are in a lot of civil wars for a lot of different reasons. Sudan has a lot of resources and assets which help a lot of other countries get involved, or it kind of gets them to get more involved because they have a lot of gold assets, and I think there's some oil and stuff they're involved too. Not as much as the Gulf states, but yeah. Let's see. George says one of the senators was the chairman of the Judiciary Committee back then, and he was being spied on. Yeah, I'm not surprised. They're literally, a lot of these people have said things that are calls to violence. They've had allegiances to a certain person rather than the actual government and the position that they're supposed to hold and the people. So it makes sense for them to be on that list. Like, if I were doing anything, I would have them under investigation too, because that's like sketchy shit. It makes sense. Like, if someone is saying that they're actively more loyal to a person that is part of their party than the actual government itself, yeah. And who's to say that the current administration is not going to spy on other, like, left-leaning senators or people in power? They're just going to do the same thing to the other side because they are afraid of, like, socialism and that sort of thing. So I bet you fucking money that they're gonna start like having like spying on AOC or Bernie Sanders. Maybe not Bernie Sanders because he's like in it for the long run, but AOC, maybe like Mamdani or just whoever they fucking can. Even like commentators online, they're probably gonna keep a watchful eye on. Elle says, I promise both sides have been doing it for decades. Yep, they just got caught, that's all. They didn't even really get caught. It was like an investigation. They were literally spying on people as part of an investigation. Like literally, the title of the link that I gave you guys was Biden FBI spied on 8 Republican senators as part of Arctic frosting investigation. Grassley oversight reveals. Yeah. It makes sense. Also, hi, Elle. They're just gonna do it to the other side. This is how politics has been for a really long time. There is no integrity. Only watching. Maybe if we watch them hard enough, they'll change their ways or they'll do something crazy. It's really interesting. They've already started, oh, what the fuck do you call it? Pardon my language. But they've already started doing like weird AI shit and like posting that online, like on their own personal accounts and stuff like that of other people saying things that aren't necessarily true. They make it like funny and exaggerated or whatever, but they act like it's true and it's not. So, I don't know. Take everything with a grain of salt, you know? Usually, I've noticed with both sides, when they say that someone is like fucking doing something, they're doing the same shit. They just don't want to get caught, and they're like, oh, point the finger, like, oh, they did it, they did it, they did it, guys, they did it. But then behind the scenes, they're like also doing it. It's just ridiculous. Maybe just slightly different, you know? But yeah. How are you doing, Elle? I'm also eating candy, so if you can hear me eat it, I don't really feel that bad. I just really enjoy my candy sometimes. What else? There's just been a lot of stuff that's been happening. And not bad, just another day. That's good. I hope it was a good day. Mm, it's kind of how my day's been. I've been really tired. I haven't had the energy I normally do. I'm trying to stay up to date with everything. I think a lot of air traffic controllers are shutting down. You know, like I think in Burbank, which is in like the San Fernando Valley and like LA-ish area, um, they basically had no controllers since yesterday or something like that. So, or at least limited. So they kind of just stopped fucking operating. So that's the one of the bigger thing that's happened because of the shutdown. And I also don't think that the shutdown is going to stop anytime soon because the fucking house isn't even in session for like another what 15, 16 days, something like that. And they're gonna so the Senate is gonna want to negotiate with the House regarding the terms of the bill, and it's just really fucking bad timing. And I don't know, that's like a whole thing that's very interesting to me. Kind of stresses me out a little bit. I'm like, oh, what are they gonna do about it? But it's okay. Right now, I'm working on my planner. I'm not ignoring you. Just trying to be sure I get everything done as I'm talking. And I'm really curious about what they're gonna do and what they're gonna change. Because they could go back and forth for a while, and this might be one of the longest shutdowns that we'll like have in a long time as a nation, which is gonna be crazy. I think it's gonna be a longer one. And I think people might start protesting and stuff like that, but people are gonna have to be careful because if like anyone starts protesting too much or things get like quote unquote too rowdy, Trump is gonna use it as an excuse to send more National Guard to different cities and states. So it'll be really weird because he's just inching. He's like ready to pull the trigger at any time. There's already been helicopters in Chicago. George says, are both Nebraska senators Republicans? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm. Maybe not. Maybe not for long though. We're gonna have to see how the next campaign season goes. I'm a little bit nervous, but oh, I don't even know if I'm gonna do any like insane campaign work this year. Campaigning is hard and it takes a lot of time, and helping out with campaigns just like burns you out. So there's lots of canvassing and talking and oh, but it's okay. It's like it feels good to help the community, you know. But we have some good candidates that are running it up against some of our senators, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see how that goes. Nebraska's a pretty red state. That's why we're on the threat of bankruptcy all the time. It's great. Everyone here is constantly stressed about whether or not we're gonna be functioning in the next year. It's slowly becoming more blue though, which is really nice. But it's mainly because the bankruptcy stuff. Yeah. Stuff is not the best here. Let's see. Al says, I think the two-party system is slowly eating up the country, creating too much divide. Agreed. Agreed. If we had different styles of voting, I think it's like I can't remember what style it's called, but it's where you vote for like I would have this person if this it's like ranked choice. I think we should have more of that. Not focus as much on party stuff, but have more ranked choice voting. Get rid of the electoral college because fuck that shit. Um, also make sure that more people get to vote on more things. But yeah. Elle says both need to be based on policy and not party affiliation. True. But it's been like this ever since America has existed. It's always been about party affiliation rather than core issues. And people, like, I think most people are single issue voters or they just kind of follow through with the crowd. So, my family, or at least on my mom's side, the majority of them were only Republicans, not financially, not because of any of that, even though it was voting against their own interests. They were so anti-abortion that that's why. That's literally why they voted Republican most of the time. It was crazy. But it's true, Elle, it's true. Wait, do you live in America? Oh yeah, you do. Arizona. I remember. Yeah. It's so weird to have people like actually from America here. It kind of trips me out. I'm like, wait a second. We can actually talk about this and you know what I'm talking about. Arizona's becoming more blue too, which is really interesting. Nebraska. Hmm. A lot of people here are Republican, especially in rural areas, because they're very much like nationalistic, you know? And Nebraska does have a lot of ties to the South because Nebraska became a state after the Civil War, and a lot of people from Nebraska, or at least some people from Nebraska, went and fought for the South, you know? So it's crazy. Al says most large cities lean blue, and Phoenix as fifth in the US. Oh, that makes sense. Also, large colleges tend to lean blue. True. True, true. It's kind of wild because education tends to do that to people because people are just like, whoa, who would have thought? Who would have thought things could be different? NAU, ASU, and Arizona. True. I know some people that went to ASU, and I was kind of tempted to go there when I was younger too. But I didn't, obviously. Hmm. I think that it's still pretty conservative in Arizona, but not like Nebraska conservative. Nebraska conservative is like, mm, hmm. Like if you're vegetarian, people people think you're like a tree hugger and weird. And it's crazy. George says you better wait and see when midterms come around. The Democratic Party is in a downward slide right now. Most people are really mad at Republicans, though, especially with the shutdown. I think the majority of people are blaming Republicans. Let's see. Mm, okay. PBS poll says 38% say that Republicans who control the White House and both houses of Congress would be most at fault. 27 blame Democrats, and 31% believe both parties are equally to blame. Which is kind of interesting. You don't think so? I don't know. I think we're both kind of in our own little bubbles. So that's probably why, you know. Airy. Airy hair. I don't know how to say your name. But it gives them, you know, like the Minoi SpongeBob meme? Airy hair. It's just, I don't know, that's what my brain thinks of. But hi, how are you? If you hear chewing, that's fine, because I'm eating candy. But, I am the same as the spam that starts with DFG. What? DFG? Oh, is that like in your name, or do you mean like DFG something else? I'm so confused. Al says question mark? Question mark what? I've been talking so much. I'm so distracted the past couple days because I had like midterms last week and it just messed me up. George said Democratic senators are holding up the party. Oh, your old username started with DFG. That makes sense. You know me. Do I though? Do I? I cannot recall. Tell me about yourself if you have before, and maybe I'll remember. But technically, what's holding everything back is the fact that the House isn't even in session right now. Like, why is the House not in session? Let's see. Okay. Johnson said that this is Politico, by the way. I'll give you all the link. Last time I helped with Arabic. Oh, okay, vibes. I wouldn't be surprised. Wait, where are you from? House already passed that bill. It's in the Senate now. Yes, but the Senate has the right to reject it, and then the House has to, make amendments to it if the Senate doesn't agree to it. So if the Senate keeps voting no on it, the House technically should be able to negotiate and change it up a little bit and then give it back. But if the House isn't in session, it can't be rewritten or revised. You really got a memory flush in less than a year. No! I talked to a lot of people about Arabic stuff here. All right, Johnson said at a news conference earlier Friday that the House will come back into session and do its work as soon as Chuck Schumer allows us to reopen the government, referring to the top Senate Democrat. Also speaking ahead of the announcement, House Appropriations Chair Tom Cole said he agreed with the argument that House GOP leaders have been making in private. Why would we come back just to come back? Doing so, he added, would be negotiating against yourself. Okay, and then he says, and I quote, right now we're in situations where Democrats are trying to blackmail the Republicans and doing something they're not prepared to do at this point. Cole said Democrats' demands for additional concessions on healthcare. A GOP senator, end quote. A GOP senator also argued ahead of an announcement on Friday that briefing the House back next week will only make things worse. Let's see. The extended recess stands to delay the swearing in of Representative Adelita Grijalva, the Democrat from Arizona, AL, who's expected to be the final required signature on a discharge petition for a bill forcing Justice Department disclosure of files related to the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Let's see. Yeah. The recess decision is also likely to delay a planned Tuesday hearing in the Judiciary Committee with Attorney General Pam Bondi, with Democrats and at least one Republican planning to grill her on the administration's handling of the Epstein's case. Yeah. So technically, it's only, oh, the man who oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember. Are you the one who keeps getting banned because you go into people's streams and say things that you're not supposed to? Epstein loved the IDF. He frequently wore IDF merch. Elsa's based on the number of usernames I say he is, lol. Yeah. Yeah, L is true. George says it's only 24 pages long, not much to talk about. Ooh. Ari says it's Twitch that bans me, not the streamers. Wait, why is Twitch banning you? What did you do? It's been so long. Elsa, so maybe, just maybe, you're doing something wrong. Yup. Yay. Nothing. Twitch is increasingly more sensitive every day, especially about Israel. That's true. I do agree with that, too. I've heard some of your takes, though. I remember you, the man. I remember when we discussed, the gays good? Cursed. Cursed, cursed, cursed. Cursed. Soon he will be deported from America for talking bad about Israel. Where would I go, Ari? Arriere. You know, it actually rhymes with derriere. which is like ass, by the way. So don't make an ass out of yourself. He's just like this, Ari. Or not Ari, L. Sorry. Yo, it's been a freaking day. It's been a day. Ari says, I don't know, but they're talking about a law to repel citizenship for anyone who criticizes Israel. To view it as like a hate crime, yeah, maybe. Maybe you'll be sent to a gold mine in Ghana. Yeah. I'm with They legally can't do that. Not that they won't try. If they make it legal, they can. That would cause I'm not gonna lie, if they started doing that to like just mass amounts of people, it would cause a civil war. I'm not even joking with you. That would legitimately cause a civil war here in America. And you can't go back from that shit. Yeah, George says that'll never happen. Else it's not gonna happen. They are detaining people who are American citizens and threatening to send them off to other places, though. That is something that America has done. But there's not a lot of due process with a lot of stuff happening. With what happened in El Salvador, there's a lot more focus on it. So here's the thing. If you are to be detained by ICE or anywhere, like on any grounds or whatever, you can, as long as you have people who would check in on you or like make an appeal to the government or whatever and be like, hey, like this is someone that we should have, they're a legal citizen, then you should be okay, because they would have to like go through the court process. Because the minute a lawyer gets involved, they're kind of fucked. But anyways, Ari says, I thought ICE would cause a civil war, but it didn't. Maybe they can put this off too after they slowly increase the censorship. They're trying, for sure. Also says ICE is going after people who are technically here illegally. Some yes and some no. There are people who are here legally who have been detained by ICE. And I know this because I work with immigrants, like a high immigrant population, and I know a lot of people who have been detained by ICE, and where ICE has tried to work with like my managers and that sort of thing to get people detained. And because we help people with like citizenship processes, because you have to pass a English learning exam in order to get your citizenship for the test, it's a very high target environment. And they are technically going after people who are here illegally, but they will go after people who are here legally and say that they're here illegally. Like, there's lots of people who are sent to, at least a couple of people who are sent to El Salvador who were technically here legally, but because like they didn't have people backing them up, or they just got rounded up and just sent off, like, which was insane. That's why there's such a big commotion about it. Like, I think Mr. Garcia, I believe was his name. I can't remember his full name, but yeah. There's lots of people who have been detained, and people that I know personally who have been detained because they've been basically like, they've been profiled. And then they're here legally and stuff like that, and we try to advocate for them as much as we can, but there's only so much that you can do. And I'm not a large player in the institution. I just help people with English, you know? Elle says, ICE is 1000% going about it the wrong way. True. I get what they're trying to do, but it's not the right way to do it. Yeah, I understand what they're trying to do. I also understand that, like, if you want to have better, if you want to crack down on illegal immigration, you need to make it so that people feel safe going through the immigration process. Otherwise, you're just going to have more illegal immigrants because they're going to prioritize being with their family and being with people and like maintaining their job and everything like that over getting a stupid piece of paper. That is just how it's going to be for a lot of people. Because not everybody, it's like a privilege to go through that process. And it requires money. It requires, for some people, learning a whole different language, getting involved in community and stuff like that. You have to get, I think it's an AIM, something like that. There's like a number that you get, a refugee number that you're supposed to keep with you, or a migrant number or something like that that you have on you when you're going through the process that you need to keep track of. But yeah. Aries says, also, did you see the video of Israel influencers going inside Gaza flotilla and they staged the inside, but they forgot to take Israeli labels off Greta's orange juice? What do you mean? Send links, Aries. But yeah, no, it's been fucking crazy. It's kind of weird, though, how normalized it's kind of become already. People are like, oh, just be sure you have your papers on you at all times. Be sure that you're keeping track of your neighbor or whatever. Be sure you give someone your, what is it? What is the migrant number ID number called USA? Alien registration number, ARN. Yeah, ARN. There's also a USCIS case number. It's an application-specific number assigned to a single application you file with USCIS. It starts with 3 letters, like MSC, EAC, followed by 10 numbers. There's also, like, the I-94, which is, like, a visitor thing. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just the alien registration number, though. There's a couple of different, like, terms for it, but yeah. Yeah, I keep track of it. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Israeli, like, propaganda is just fucking wild to me, too. I'm glad that you're focusing on it, though. Hmm. Yeah, you're basically... Mm-hmm. They put Israeli orange juice on the ship. Yep. I'm not surprised, though. They literally made her fucking kiss the flag. The Israeli flag, which is so disrespectful. Like, 1, considering the circumstances, and 2, considering that she's from a totally different fucking country. Like, what the hell? But anyways, I'm just gonna get angry if we talk about this too much. But it's just, I don't trust anything that Israel's been doing with this shit. We've been talking about that for a while, and I just think that a lot of it is propaganda, and people need to be careful about what they consume, how they consume it, and if they trust it. I've even gotten fucking Israeli ads on YouTube and shit like that, because, well, on my other YouTube account, I don't have premium, so I'll just, like, the one that I have to use for, you know, other stuff. Because I don't have premium, I'll get ads sometimes, and I'll just forget to switch my accounts, and I'll get, like, these weird Israeli ads, and I get really confused, but I have ad blocker now, so it's okay, but it's just, like, holy crap. But you're not wrong. Anyways, it's just been, back to, like, I'm not going to dive too deep into it, but with what's happening with ICE, I get really frustrated because I think there should be a better path to citizenship. And if you want immigrants to pay taxes and stuff like that, you need to make them have a safe enough environment to do so. And sometimes there are things that happen that get in the way of people going through the immigration process properly. And a lot of it has to do with relatives passing away, lack of funds, lack of access to transportation to go to different hearings and stuff like that. Almost never do people actually intentionally miss appointments or hearings or whatever. Sometimes people will just not be notified because they'll change their address and then the documentation will be sent to the wrong address for like the court hearings or whatever the fuck that they have going on. There's so much stuff that comes into play when there's integration or like any immigration stuff that's happening. It just stresses me out. It stresses me out because people are just like, oh, they're lazy. And I'm just like, have you ever dealt with the court system? Because it's a lot harder than you think it is. Like, sometimes my bills don't even get sent to the proper address because they just have like my old address on file. Why do you think that you're immune to having problems, you know? When it comes to documentation, it can happen to anybody. It literally can happen to anybody. And a lot of immigrants don't have a lot of money, so they can be easily targeted. Ari says what they tell you is different, back to Israel. Very different from what they tell their own people. To quote Israeli Channel 14 journalist Shimon Riklin, I can't sleep well without watching houses collapse in Gaza. What else will I do? More and more and more houses, more buildings, so that they have nowhere to come back to. There's also, I think this is old, but there was a trend that was going around on Israeli social media where people, like kids, would literally call their parents. I might be able to find a video of this. It's really fucking sad. What the heck? Okay. Here we go. It was a while ago. But people would literally like... I guess I could show you guys. I never really show you guys links. But I'll show you. Why not? Why not? Why not? Okay, I don't have like anything bad. There you go. Now you guys see the link.
פתחתי חברת תרומות לילדים עזתיים. האם היית רוצה לתרום?
לאיזה ילדים?
לילדים עזתיים.
מה זה ילדים עזתיים?
אנחנו הורסים להם את הבתים, ואנחנו צריכים גם לבנות להם, מה זאת אומרת?
אבל אני גם אבוא יהרוס את הבית.
Yes, I should translate it.
מה
I'll
זאת
also
אומרת?
come. What do you say? Gods and children. You mean
כן.
yes? What do you mean by yes?
כן, ילדים עזתיים.
Yes, Gaza children, you know, in the end, they are not Hamas.
A new prank is
trending in Israel.
Teenagers calling their parents, pretending to
I don't know if
ask
this is
if they'd
English or
like
not.
to donate to children in Gaza. Their aim?
Oh,
To
it is.
capture their parents' reactions.
אז מה הם?
What do they say? They're orphan children, poor people. Their houses were demolished by the IDF, by the occupation army. And the parents like cursing.
For them, it's a joke.
שלום, מדברת שילת, אני מעמותת יד לתורם. אני רוצה לדעת אם את מעוניינת לתרום לילדים עזתיים מהרצועה.
Donating to who? To the children from Gaza who need their money for their survival.
אין להם אוכל.
They don't need food to the children from Gaza.
שחייבים...
Go get some help, my dear. Get some urgent You need psychiatrists urgently,
For
sweetheart.
months, thousands of
Yeah.
Palestinian children have been killed, starved, and left homeless. This mindset is not new. For years, Israeli politicians and media have pushed narratives that portray all Palestinians, including children, as threats.
There's no such thing as innocent people in Gaza. There's no such thing. The biggest enemy is the children in
Dehumanization has been
Gaza.
used to justify the ongoing siege and military aggression. Does the trend show another example of the moral corruption of Israeli society?
Yeah, it's really fucking sad.
Genocidal war on Gaza.
People just like straight up do not acknowledge a lot of the stuff that's happening in Gaza right now. And they will just turn it on like anybody else or anything else just because they don't want to be accountable for what's happening. And I've met people like here in Nebraska who are pro IDF to the extent where they'll just like, because I've talked before how I look like more conservative and stuff like that. Mainly because I grew up in Nebraska. You know, it's just, I don't know, it's just more of my aesthetic. But yeah, I will. Harry says I will use that video for my compilation. Thank you. Okay. But there's lots of other stuff like that you can find online. But here in Nebraska, people think that I'm more conservative or whatever, even though like I'm a lefty. They'll just be like, oh, and then just say all this shit to me that's absolutely insane. But I've heard people be like, oh well, their kids aren't even real people or whatever. Like it doesn't matter because they're just a stain. Like my grandparents that I grew up with that were religious were very Zionistic, and they went to Israel on like a Christian pilgrimage, not to like do the Jewish stuff, but they did more Christian things, went to the Christian relics, the holy sites there, and that sort of thing. And they did that a couple of times, and they took some people from the church. It was like a whole thing. And when they came back, they said that they just wanted everything to be Israel, and they just wanted them to take over already, and it didn't matter what it took. They just wanted it to happen. And they just were like, get rid of the dirty people, is what they said. And there's a lot of people like that. Like, there's a lot of people like that. And if they think that you're one of them or you're comfortable with it, they'll say it to you, to your face. It's disgusting. Ari says, Aliyah Yosein also said as many corpses as possible. A baby is an enemy. First grader is an enemy. A pregnant woman is an enemy. It's just people view anybody who is part of that a potential person to become Hamas or like a terrorist to Israel or whatever. And it's really fucked up. It's really fucked up. It's been like that for a long time. And people think that it's just a now thing, but my grandpa died 2 years ago or whatever. And up until he started having like dementia, Alzheimer's, and that sort of thing, and he passed away, he kept that same perspective. And it was a big reason why, well, it's not the only reason, but it's one of the reasons why I was really distant from my family. Because when you hear people straight up just not give a fuck about anyone around you, or think, like, be pro-colonialization and even pro-genocide, like, why would you want to associate with them? Well, I heard about that area, but I don't even know if that's true. I don't know if Kim Jong, like, actually said that he would nuke Israel if they hurt the flotilla. That's one that I'm not sure about. But yeah, like, when I say I grew up in, like, a very, pro-Zionist environment, like, I literally did. Which is sad. He said Israel is a cancer-like entity for peace in the Middle East and offered Iran to join a war against Israel and said if they kill Greta Thunberg, he'll nuke Tel Aviv. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. But, I don't know. For me, I think it's really disgusting. And I know people have learned to not talk to me about it. But sometimes it still happens. And there are like, it's hard because there's not a ton that you can do here in the United States unless you had money, because it takes money and it takes privilege to be able to actually go to the countries and be part of the situations to help, because you do have to like abandon a lot of your life if you don't have a lot of money to do those things, which it's a sacrifice that a lot of people make, and I'm very proud of them for doing that. There's just a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it, and it's really disappointing. Like, it really is. And not every Jewish person is going to be Zionist or pro-Israel or pro-IDF or whatever. It's just, I hate how it's become what it is. And I hate how it's pretty much always been like that throughout the entire history of Israel. And it disappoints me. But I don't know if like I haven't seen any sources for Kim Jong-un saying that. I've seen a lot of people talk about it online. I haven't really seen a lot like about it. Maybe it's disappointing. So I've just kind of not mentioned it. Because I haven't found like a lot of evidence on it. And I also really didn't look too deep into it. Not gonna lie. Did you know, this is so off topic, but Oliver is the most common boy name right now in most of the United States? You're ahead of the crowd, audience. Yes. If I had a girl dog, I would have named her Olivia, though. I just like olives. I used to not like them. Oh, Sandy! I have treats for them that I gotta give them. But do you guys have anything else you would like to add to the topic? I know, come here. Oh, all Siri's like alert. He's so gentle about it, and then Sandy's like aggressive. Sandy! Come here. I have like dirt in my nostrils. I know. Siri, I have treats for you too. Is Siri stealing it? Sandy, you want to come show yourself? I don't know if you can see Sandy. Oh, you can't. But it's okay. She's really cute. She's eating one off camera. Siri wants a snack too. I have the cat snacks. The cat snacks are right here. And he's ready for it. It sounds different. I have to be sure to put them in different containers. Oh my god. Aries says, I doubt the nuking stuff, but I definitely think the help Iran is real, just like Russia. Yeah, I think North Korea doesn't really have a lot of advantage to helping. Come here, Siri. Siri. You want to show everybody your face? Show everybody how cute you are. Come here. There he is. Okay, Michael. And now I have Michael. I gotta feed everybody now, guys. You have started something. Come here, Mimi. No, I have treats for you. Come here, my. Oh my god. Well, they can give Iran their nuclear blueprints. Yeah. Theoretically. Oh my god, dogs. Okay. Andrew! Andrew! What? Can you call the dogs? I also have to give Michael more treats because he's losing a lot of weight. So I give him double the treat. No, thank you. No, thank you. Don't steal it, Siri, you little bastard. He's a gremlin. He always steals everyone's food. He'll like straight up jump on the counter and steal chicken. How's my doing? He's okay. He's still like, no, Siri. No. That's a naughty boy. My gets extra now. No, Siri. Now he gets 3. Don't you dare. You, you. Yeah, but Michael is doing better. He's just lost quite a bit of weight. Bixby, don't steal his food. Aries says, also, did you hear the news that someone stopped an IDF soldier that was intercepting the Samud flotilla, pissed himself out of fear? Oh my god, they cowardly. That's why they need to wear diapers. I don't keep up with that sort of thing. I mainly because it just makes me too upset. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It makes me really, really fucking upset. And I already do what I can to help out the community as much as I can, but I can't. I'm like one of those people where if I engage in too much of the content, I'm gonna get like too much agency, and it's not like I'm gonna do something bad, you know? It just means that like I would have a hard time not like leaving America and trying to do like something else to like help out. Like that's, but I can't like abandon what I'm building now because I wanna, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it's really hard for me. And that's not saying that they shouldn't be seen. It's just that it's hard for me to see it all the time. Aries says, imagine being a coward, you piss your pants because a teenage girl on a boat with aid. I don't know. I really don't know about that one either. But it is an interesting thing to say the least. Still holding on to him. So cute. I love him. Such a little hoe, though. He's my Halloween decoration. His eyes are so much greener than mine. I have like the seafoam greenish eyes, and he has like the piercing green eyes. It's wild. People are like, your eyes are so green, and I'm like, my cat's eyes are way greener than mine. Okay, are you all done, my? Yeah, I think, but back to like my for a second. Our vet was like, oh, you need to put him on a diet. You need to put him on a diet. And then he got sick, and then he lost a lot of weight. So now we have to give him extra fattening foods to help him gain more weight again. Good boy, my. Good boy. Yeah, but he's been doing a lot better. We got more meds just in case, but we're not going to start giving it to him again until, like, unless he starts getting sick again. So, yeah. Yeah, we're trying to really fatten him back up. He shouldn't be as skinny as he is. We can feel his hips. His hips. My little man's. Siri, I swear to God. Stop trying to feel food. Or steal his food. He's, like, trying to, like, put his paw where Michael's treats are. And just, like, paw it away and eat it. Aries says Moss found that captured IDF soldiers were wearing diapers. Abdai says the Israeli army, perhaps the only army in the world that wears nappies, specifically Pampers. Sources. Mainly because I don't keep up with that side of things. I really don't. Like I said, I get too mad if I do. I really do. The Instagram. Let's see. There's an interview. His speech. Oh. Huh. Last time you were here, we didn't talk as much about this. The comments are so cursed. Ah, Jesus. I don't know. I try not. It's one of those things where I try not to be like. It's not that I don't care. It's just I don't really get as engaged into that side of commentary of things. It's kind of like what's going on with the war in Ukraine and stuff like that. I don't sit there and look over every single move that's been made by each side, because then I lose sight of the actual stuff that's happening, like the bigger picture stuff. And because I live so far away, and because I only have limited impact in what I can do and what I can't do, it's best for me to have more of that perspective. But if I were closer to things and I had more ability to have more control and say over what's going on, it would be important for me to have the play-by-play. That makes sense. Oh, I didn't get Bixby one, but I think she's okay. She's the overweight one. She's right here. My chunky girl. My chunky princess. But anyways, are there any other updates? Ari says, what is your opinion on the kibbutzis? You think that Hamas attacking them is legitimate or is it terrorism? Like Israel claims. Yo! You're getting really into this. I thought you were going to ask me more questions about, like, the peace deal with the U.S. and that sort of thing. Like, the proposal that's been going on and what could or could not happen and, like, the potential for stuff. I thought you were going to ask me more about that stuff, honestly. I'm surprised we're going into this side of things. I'm curious. That's true. Aries says, I know that you're smart enough to know that the peace deal is full of shit, but tell me, what do you think of that then? The peace deal? We haven't really talked about it. I think that the stages of control is bullshit. I don't think they're ever gonna, like, really fully relinquish control, even though they say that they're going to. I think that the dude that they're trying to have in charge from the UK, Blair, I think that's bullshit, because obviously he has a horrible track record of, you know, Levantine and Middle Eastern affairs, so I don't think he should be involved in anything in the Arab region at all, because what the fuck? Yeah, I think I talked about it a little bit, but I just don't see it going super well long term. I think it's a way for them to execute more control for a longer amount of time, and then have, like, they'll just say, oh, Hamas is, like, back again or whatever, or they'll just say something happened or whatever, and they're afraid of an uprising again, so they just want to remain in control longer. I think they'll just keep postponing giving control back to the people, and they'll just try to keep it. That's what I think is going to happen. I think they'll find any excuse to do that, too. I also don't know a lot about, like, the attack on the kibbutzis or whatever. Because you're asking me about that, and I was like, I'm not really sure. Like I said, if I struggle to keep track of everything that's happening there, because it just makes me too upset. Like, it legitimately just makes me too upset. It makes me, and I think it should make me upset, and it should make me really frustrated, so I'm not saying that, it's something that you shouldn't consume, and having that agency is a good thing to have. But if I don't have any outlet for my agency, it's gonna make my mental health, like, not good. So I keep track of what I can. I participate where and when I can, and the rest is something, you know, that I'm like, I hear about, and then I just get really upset for a while. Same with like what's going on in Sudan and stuff. Like I get really upset when I hear about it. Like I do. And I try to stay as up to date as I can and be as informed as I can, but I have to take breaks because if I want to help, I can't let my emotions get too involved. Otherwise, I won't be able to be the best help that I can be. So I have to take it in little spurts and like absorb it over time. Which I know a lot of people would criticize me and be like, that's lazy, like you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that. But it's not like an all or nothing thing for me. Like I want to have the capacity to do it, but I need to do it in a rate that I can handle. Otherwise, I won't be able to help in a positive way. Like I'll just come on here and be super reactionary in ways that wouldn't help anybody. Like it wouldn't help you, it wouldn't help me. It would just become like an echo chamber, and I don't want I don't want this to be like that. Aries says, the deal says Israel can keep a security perimeter presence in Gaza until the terror threat is eliminated, while for Hamas it says they need to give up control and give weapons and Trump can control Gaza and turn it into Trump Gaza. Basically, yeah. They want to demilitarize Gaza, which basically means that they want them to have no control over anything that's going on, and then they want to be able to siphon the resources even more from that region, and at that point there isn't a lot left, so they can just like take everything over, which is insane. Dari says, OMG Posey, I had a 3-hour fight about Enter the Dragon. What a day, bruh. Aries says, yeah, you should demilitarize Israel, not Gaza. Agreed, honestly. It low-key, I fucking hate it. Okay, thanks for the follow, Bologna Ham. Hi, Bologna Ham. You have an interesting name, just so you know. Is it Bologna? Sorry. I'm gonna make jokes about you lying a lot just because your name's Bologna. I want you to know that. I want you to know that. I just think it's funny. Anyways, what else? Darius says, are you part of Sam King Bologna? Shout out to the trolls from last night. Oh yeah, we did have a lot of trolls last night. That was kind of wild. I was like, holy fuck, okay. I guess that's the vibe. I wonder what's happening there. Y'all are gonna make me, like, Ari is gonna make me crash the fuck out. Yeah, but Israel should not have the power that it has. And we talked about this yesterday, but the only reason why Israel has so much power and influence is because it's a means to control a lot of the region. Or at least initially it was a means to control a lot of the region, and now it's to keep like a foothold in the region. And now they have nukes, so like how do you have like a change of power or whatever there without it going to fucking shit? It's literally like a hyper-religious regime. Oh my gosh, wait, let's see. Ray says attack, they should not have rifles. Wait, okay. We're in like a deep chat right now, Ari and Baloney and everyone who is like just joining. Ari says, in my opinion, the kibbutz are legitimate targets. The kibbutz are tactically placed along the border of Gaza, and half of them have literal IDF bases built into them. They are filled with radical Zionist settlers that Israel gives rifle and military training, who organize into Zionist gangs. I don't know a lot about it, honestly. That's why I'm just like, whoa. They constantly try to settle inside Gaza, but when they get attacked back, Israel goes, OMG, October 7th, civilians, OMG, how dare you attack these so innocent civilians. They do not want to get at, yeah. Well, basically, the IDF has a lot of, like, especially in the West Bank, they're trying to slowly take over the West Bank. By basically putting in, like, little cities, and they say, oh, it's just like a military, like, observation base or whatever, and then they slowly start expanding. They just start planting seeds and then just taking over different regions to the point where there are certain like areas and cities or whatever that are under control of Israel that are within like the West Bank regions and stuff, and they have like walls around it where people have to get permission to go in and harvest their crops and stuff like that. It's not everywhere, but it's in certain spaces because technically they don't like own the land, they're just stealing it. And they're just not, it's just fucking ridiculous. I think eventually they just take it over entirely and they don't allow anyone to have access to that. But they slowly do it. They're just like, oh, well, now you can come in, now you come in. And you can like take it over. It's just a temporary thing. And then we'll allow you in or whatever. And then they just completely take it over. Daria says, in the same way you can't get behind starving children, I can't get behind the events of October 7th. Ooh, Darius, damn. Oh, it is the anniversary. Oh, I see why we're on this today. Aries says the reason why you can't is because you think they just attacked some city or something. They didn't. They attacked a kibbutz filled with armed extremist settlers that are functionally equal to soldiers. Darius says the settler movement is one of the biggest issues to the peace process because they're cutting off East Jerusalem. East Jerusalem. Holy fuck. English is my first language, guys. I'm tired. And Temple Mount, Alaska. Yeah. I know. And they've been doing this for a long time. They've been slowly just encroaching deeper and deeper and deeper. They cut off resources to certain areas and then they go in and take it over when people like have to leave and do certain things. They'll literally go into people's fucking homes. Like we've talked about this. And this would happen in Gaza too. But it primarily, you can hear about it more in the West Bank. But they'll literally like go into people's homes, take everybody, wrangle them into a fucking room, and basically scare the shit out of them, go through all of their shit, take whatever the fuck they want, and then they'd leave. Like, I don't talk about a lot of, like, the controversies online or whatever, but this is something that people like Ela Klein, I think that's her fucking name, they would literally just fucking sit there and boast about it. That's when I did, like, when I saw that clip, I was like, holy fuck, I don't think I really want to, like, watch this channel anymore or anything. And I saw that a couple of years ago, and I was like, okay, this fucking sucks. But that was, like, my aha moment of, like, they can seem personable or whatever, or seem, like, relatable and nice, but it's so normalized that people can't even register that what they're doing is fucked up. They just view it as justified. And it's insane to me. And this is like the first time I've ever mentioned this part of like any discourse or whatever, but it drives me insane. Dari says, the lack of contiguous mass between the West Bank and Gaza is such a massive problem. That's part of it, yeah. The fact that Israel is there in the first place is a problem. Aries says, I would honestly say that an IDF soldier is more worthy of civilian status than these settlers. The settlers are just as armed and way more violent. I really don't know as much about that, honestly, Ari. It's not, like, to me, I think it shouldn't have escalated this far. And the fact that countries are still enabling Israel through the process, like, still buying things from Israel, still trading with Israel, still, like, supporting Israel via, like, weapons, and then supporting them via tourism, I think is really fucked up. Like, it makes me upset. And it's hard because I want to go to like the Levantine area really bad, and I want to go to a lot of the historical sites that are there, but in doing so, I would be supporting an industry that I do not approve of, and it's just like, it's just not worth it. It's just not fucking worth it. And I'm not the one who could be like, oh, this is how you solve the problem or whatever, because at this point, I don't think there's really a way to solve a lot of the stuff that's been happening. I think a lot of the Israeli government would have to dissolve as it is now. I think that they would have to either like fully integrate as a society and allow for people to get their homes back, which yes is going to displace a lot of Israelis, but if they have a lot of money like they say that they do and a lot of global support like they say that they do, they should be able to easily be able to like rebuild housing for themselves. And they said that they were gonna completely build over Gaza, so why can't they build new places for them to be in other parts of anywhere? Like, it's fucked up to me. Let's see. Daria says, one of my friends has similar issues with Mecca. Oh, that's interesting. How so? Ari says, basically, imagine you put a bunch of American KKK members in the middle of the Congo and arm them with military-grade equipment, and that's what the settlers are. They're not innocent. I know. And they know what they're doing, but they feel justified in it. It's something that I didn't understand. Like, when I was younger, and my, how do I say it? Like, my grandparents, I told you that they went to, like, Israel a couple times and that sort of thing. They went to a lot of, like, the Christian holy sites and stuff like that. They made a lot of the people, like, they made Israel out to be, like, the good guys and that they deserved to be there. But that's because they were Zionists, you know? They wanted the Jews to return to the Holy Land and have all that stuff happen. But the more they told me about what was happening, the more I was like, oh my God, this is, like, actually really fucked up. And when I started asking questions, it put me in a lot of, like, conflict with my family about, like, stuff. And it just, and when, I'm just generalizing it a lot because it wasn't super duper fucking great. But, long story short, they described it to me as something that was very, like, oh, they chose to move. They were all, like, they didn't have homes or whatever. They were all basically on, like, how do I say it? What are those people, like, nomads who basically moved place to place, didn't really do anything? That's what I was taught when I was growing up. And my family would use, like, different wars and stuff like that, like what we were talking about before with Sudan. Like, if you're in Sudan and there's two different types of, like, Sudanese groups or whatever, you have, like, the African Sudanese, and then there's also more, but, like, generally African Sudanese and then Arab Sudanese. And the Arab Sudanese were people who were, like, migrants or whatever. Migrants or nomads who were, like, herders and that sort of thing, who'd go place to place. And they were basically, like, forced out of where they were. So my family taught me it from that perspective, and they used that material from a totally different country in order to influence my perspective on Israel. Like, it was so fucking weird. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but that's literally what happened. Anyways, and I got older and then I learned the truth, and it was it's not fun, and I'm still learning more to this day about how bad it is. Let's see. Jerry says he's a Sunni that doesn't like Wahhabism, but also wants to do his pilgrimage. Oh yeah. He feels he's supporting that if he goes to Saudi. Yeah, I've heard about some people having issues with, like, their Hajj, you know? And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to comment on that, honestly. It's so much more layered, and I obviously do not know enough to really give as much of a comment. Ari says, I miss King Faisal Mohammed bin Shmuel. The Israel sympathizer can get lost. Daria says that MBS, and Ari says, yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on in Saudi Arabia right now, and it's just, I don't know. I really want to go there because I want to go to a lot of the historical monuments. I want to learn more about the region, the area, and all that sort of thing. But a lot of the government stuff that's happening is really stressful. Let's see. Dari says, yeah, he's a Sufi IRC, correct? If I can recall correctly, and I wouldn't be allowed to do his prayers. I just take it as his view and not really my place to go into it. I don't even know, honestly. I would need to be a lot more educated on it. It's something that it's hard. Saudi Arabia is, like, a very, like, complicated subject because on one hand, I think that they're becoming more open in some aspects, but in a lot of other aspects they're not. Like, I don't know. I feel like not enough I just don't have a lot of trust for Saudi Arabia's government. IMO. Do I want to go there? Yeah. Am I more comfortable going there now that a lot of things have been changing? Yeah, ish. Am I like, I don't know. I have a really like a weird kind of like, it's gray. It's not black and white where I'm just like, oh, fuck Saudi Arabia all the time. A lot of their history, yeah. I feel like they're kind of catering to the West a lot more than they really should. IMO. IMO. Let's see. Oh. Daria says, like, if someone tells me they don't want to go someplace for religious or political reasons, I don't see it as my place to interrogate them on it. You know, that's fair. Unless it involves the film discussions on Enter the Dragon, then I'm at it for 3 hours, bruh. Daria says, I don't like Saudi because they bought Newcastle United and we hate Jordans. Bro, are you serious? Way to bring it back to fucking football, bro. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Ugh, I was raking in a lot of dirt today. So that's why I've been like, ugh. Yeah. There's a lot of shit that's been going down there. And it was super controversial for a while. I think a lot of comedians went there within the past week or so, and people got really pissed about it. They were like, why the fuck are you going there? Remember 9/11? I think Pete Davidson went, and they were like, people are like, bruh. But yeah. Daria says they did buy Newcastle United, the Saudis, Qataris, Gulf states, all own massive football clubs in Europe. That's true. That's true. They even mentioned it today in the judiciary meeting with Pam Bondi. I think she was involved with the Qatari World Cup that happened. Like, I don't remember her position, but what's the Bondi stuff? Oh, so Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, was basically being interrogated, or she was questioned by the Senate Judiciary Committee today. And they talked to her about, because you know how Qatar donated a plane, or is in the process of donating a plane to Donald Trump, and basically like the United States or whatever. But it's primarily for Trump because it's going to his presidential, what is it? What foundation is the Qatar plane going to Trump? The Trump Presidential Library Foundation. That's what it is. Yeah. So that one's interesting. I mean, this is just ABC News. It's not the best, but it's something that you guys can look at too. I know we gotta go soon. I'll hurry. Let's see. Darius says, yeah, completely legit to give a president a private gift worth $500 million. But technically it's not private because it's going to the presidential library. I think John Library. I think he did a video on presidential libraries, like just recently, where he brings this up. Here is the video. I don't have enough time to react to it or show it to you guys, but here's another link. So many links. If you guys have time, please look into it. But he mentions it pretty well. Let's see. No one who reads would try and make an argument against that, Ari. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, Darius. Yeah. Darius says, also get this, as a UK resident, I'm not allowed by the government to look at imagery unless I sign up to their ID. Wait. Oh, I forgot. You guys have really fucking ass backwards rules. Not gonna lie. Oh, that looks so much better. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. My candles are burning more evenly. It makes me so happy. Hi, Bixby. Okay. That's not a troll or rage bait or whatever. You slander me. That's 100% true, bruh. That's not what I'm saying. Or whatever you slander me with, okay. She wants her snack. But she can't have as many treats as the other cats because she's obese. So I give her snuggles instead. The vet was like, you really can't give her as much treats as you've been giving her. And I'm like, but she's so cute. Baby. She's so adorable. It says, Josie, show the map on screen so we can see. I have to go soon. I feel like I don't know. Wait, watch out. I'm not really that surprised by it. I do have to go soon, but let's see. You can slander me all you want as long as you condemn Wayland Utani and Newcastle United. Bro! I have no play in this. There's no... God, I wish I wasn't as tired as I am right now. Y'all are talking to me and I'm like... I'm so exhausted. It's so easy, Josie. What do you mean? Just say it. Bro, I have no play in this. Dude, what are you on about, Darius? Easy. Bro, shut the fuck up. Bixby, don't eat that. She's just gonna eat random leaves. I will give you a treat in a little bit, okay? You'll get it in a bit. She's crazy. Why are you so low energy? I explained at the beginning of the stream. I didn't sleep super well. Basically, it was raining all day yesterday. So I had to drink coffee to like stay energized and awake, but coffee doesn't really keep me awake. And then it stopped raining like in the middle of the night, and I didn't have my rain sounds on to like help me sleep because it was raining throughout the night. So my brain was like, "Oh, no rain sounds, can't sleep, not tired." So I was up really late. Yeah, end the stream, end it, and get your rest. No, I have to go. I usually have stuff I have to do after stream, which is why I end it like at a specific time. On weekends, sometimes I get to stay here later, but usually I have to eat and then I have to go run and do another thing. I know. It'll be better. Today, I also stayed up a little bit later yesterday because I was prepping for an exam I thought would be this week, but because we had our midterms last week for my classes, all of that, literally all of it, was postponed for a week so we could rest. Guess who didn't rest? Me, because I forgot about it. And if I didn't do that, I think I would have slept a lot better. Because I was nervous about it, because I was like, man, I'm so underprepared. I'm so tired. It's like when I showed up to get my passport a week early. I'm not even joking with you. No, I think it was a fucking month early. It literally was a month early. I scheduled my appointment to go get my passport like updated, where I had to get like my photo and everything. And I showed up a month early. And they had coincidentally an opening. And it was the best passport photo, like ID photo I've ever had in my life. So I was like, okay, I'm chill with this. But it was literally like a whole fucking month early. And I was so stressed. I was like, oh my god, I'm late. Like, they're gonna say no, I'm gonna have to go home, I'm gonna have to reschedule, it's gonna be months again. It's just what I'm like, okay? Just fucking judge me. Dari says, go get rested, come back stronger, and slaughter Newcastle United, Liverpool, and all our enemies tomorrow. Bro, I once forgot May existed and went to the dentist a month early as well. Bruh. I felt like such a dickhead when I was like, the 5th month is June, and then I realized, bro, that's so fucking relatable, because same. I do that shit all the time. Like, I have to be really, really specific about my schedule and the stuff that I'm doing, because otherwise, I just... I'm constantly fucking it up. Like, I just am. And I try so hard. Like, low-key, I bet I could come back later in the evening and stream again and just do, like, a different stream. I've thought about it. I I could chat. I could just game later. But then at that point, my brain's like tired and I'm like, ugh, and I have to film like TikToks and shit. Daria says, I feel like such a dickhead. Oh yeah, you already. Oh my god. Anyways, I think it's time for me to go. Daria says, do a stream called Educating Andrew and you teach him how to survive in the wilderness. He thinks I'm crazy. he legitimately thinks I'm crazy when it comes to like nature shit. He's like, no, I would never do this. And I'm like, but it's fine. And he's like, no. Like, I'm like, I could teach you how to make a bridge out of like twigs. And he's like, no. I don't know. He won't even go like disperse camping with me, which is like wild. He's like, I don't want to go to a free camping site. He like freaks out too much about it. It has to be like scheduled. So he's like, hotels. Like, I know how to like go camping for basically free and like semi-safe spaces and stuff like that. Cause I lived in my van. And he only went to one dispersed camping spot with me before he got like too freaked out by shit. And he couldn't do it anymore. It's like, where's the adventure? Let's see. Dari says, yeah, make a bridge together, get him on the other side, burn it, and then taunt him with your survival knowledge. I'm not that good at that stuff. I don't want you to think I'm amazing. I guess I'm better than the average person, but it's low-key traumatic as fuck. Okay, but I do gotta go. I have to go. Otherwise, I'm gonna be late. I'm late. And then Andrew's gonna be like, Jessie, we're late again. How can you make us late? And I'm just like, I'm sorry. But yes, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys have had a wonderful day. Tomorrow I will be cooking again. I will be cooking too. I hope it's good. I don't know. But sorry I'm losing my voice. It was, I don't know. It's whatever. I think I'll be more higher energy tomorrow. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys have had a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. So sleep well, stay safe, stay alive, and just